Sketch.
Yeah.
We are from Stillwater, Oklahoma, and we play electronic nightmare, industrial,
stuff with the
badass music.
The knobs and the buttons.
Yeah, we push a lot of buttons.
Yep.
We do push a lot of buttons in many ways.
Yep.
So what would you say drives you to play music?
For me, it's kind of two things. A, it's therapy, and B, I've always got something playing in my head constantly. When I'm awake, when I'm asleep, there's always noise, so it's kind of a way for me to work out some of that noise.
Oh, and it's true. There is always noise in his head. We'll be, trying to wind down to go to bed, and he'll pop up and grab his phone and start putting stuff in his little phone synthesizer to, trying to kind of map out ideas for songs. Or, one time he wrote a song while on the toilet.
I come up with a lot of songs when I'm taking a crap. It's true. I don't know, man.
I noticed you wear a lot of masks.
Yeah.
So what do you have to hide?
My mug mainly.
Yeah.
I've always been into masks and stuff. It goes back way into my childhood. This is really weird. Me and my little brother were obsessed with the big rubber Halloween masks every year that would come out in the stores and shit, but we were never allowed to buy them or participate in that kind of thing. So I started collecting masks. I've got a closet full of masks, and I started making masks, making my own mask. I wore, a pointed-eared mask on stage for years. It's just something that I think it's always gonna be part of it.
Like every year around Halloween time, he is super psyched to go to.
And I just buy masks.
To the Halloween stores.
And I know shit with them, but I buy them.
Right, they literally most of them literally take up space in the closet and have never been worn. I found one with a tag on it the other day.
Yep.
So what would you say your creative process is when you're making your music?
For me, I usually, this is electronic music. It usually starts with a vocal hook in my head, and the inspiration for that comes from lately the news. Like I get pissed off about something, I get a vocal hook in my head, and then I start writing music around that vocal hook, and that's pretty much it.
I'd say the political climate has definitely had a big influence on him. He has written a lot more. He's been inspired to write a lot more because of certain just happenings. Especially political, social issues. So he's been really inspired lately.
Is that a good influence or a bad influence?
It makes
good for the next album coming out.
Yeah.
Bad for everybody else.
It makes for some hateful music.
It's been 5 years since I released the last album, and part of that I think was, due to a lot of things that happened in my personal life. I'm a working musician, so a lot of work, things like that. And this newest album I'm working on is kind of coming along, but as soon as all this election shit happened, it went at a fever pitch. It just sped up.
He was working on it quite a bit pretty shortly after the election and several social, political events that followed. He's been working really hard. I've been super, super impressed. As for me, he just kind of shows me what he writes, and sometimes I like to add things here and there where whatever I hear, and he either likes it or he doesn't. Sometimes I get a little input in things. I'll have an idea, and really at the end of the day, he's the one that decides if it's a go or not. But he's used a few of my ideas.
What do y'all do for fun? And when you're not doing music, what do you do? What are hobbies and things like that?
Well,
I game.
Yes.
I'm constantly gaming.
He definitely, sometimes we game together a little bit.
Gaming, D&D lately.
We've been playing D&D. And I'm
movies.
a Stinky Ranger.
Movies.
Yeah, movies. We like a lot of the old cheesy B horror movie type. We're super into.
And also, we like to steal from medical supply stores.
Yeah, I don't remember doing that, so that's something he's done apparently without me. Yeah.
And I'm working on a new album called Wastelands, as I said previously, and it'll be out sooner than later, probably either before Christmas or right after the first
yeah,
of the year.
it's coming soon. I mean, you know, we thought that it was done, and he just keeps getting more ideas. So who knows at this point? We might have a couple extra songs added to the lineup.
Is it how is it, or is it quite different from your last one, or?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh, it's miles different.
Yeah, I mean, we had the Dawn of Carnage in what was it, 2010. It's a very kind of a harsh album. Then we had Frozen in 2012, and it was kind of a more melodic, kind of more of a sinister type album. And this album is kind of more crazy, balls out, very
Yeah.
violent album.
Definitely, it is weird for me personally because, like, you know, going from Frozen was very melodic, and it was a lot of melodic parts to more percussive parts with the new album. It's just a shifting gears, but it's cool. I really like it. I've been enjoying playing a lot of the new tracks, which of course we, played some of them for the first time tonight at the God Module show.
Yep.
You have a good turnout for the show?
It was good.
Decent.
I feel like this show was pretty good.
Decent.
And everybody was really solid.
All the
Everybody-
bands were very
yes.
nice and very amazing, and
Yes.
now I have a new favorite band that I listen to.
We really like Finite.
Finite Autonoma, man.
Yeah.
God damn, those guys are kings of what they do.
We really like, we listened to a lot of Ogre and like Old School Skinny Puppy, and that was, I feel like they were very inspired by it. It's
Badasses.
It's really cool. Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
So where's the best place to follow y'all online and show support and all that?
Facebook, facebook.com/PitterSplatter official. And I know PitterSplatter is hard to keep track of
Right.
because I had to choose like the most jacked up band name in the world.
Right.
But
Just so everybody knows, it's one word. It is
Pitter
Splatter.
Splatter
One word. No,
official.
You made it sound like two words. It's one word. Just Pitter Splatter is one word. That throws people every time.
Speaking of, what made you decide on the name for your band?
The name is kind of a weird story. I wanted, whenever I started PitterSplatter in 2002, there was a lot of these electronic industrial bands coming out, and it seems like they would pick two words and put them together that sounded cool. So they'd be like synthetic abortion or something like that. It was just I wanted something that was very different than that, and I wanted to go with something that just kind of came right out of my mind. At the time, I was watching this show about women having babies because I wanted to see if there was boobs or something in it, and
I don't know that I've even heard this story anyway. Like,
and this
surprised.
lady, she called her husband who had just deployed overseas, and she said, and this is an old quote, she said, it's an old phrase, "We're going to hear the pitter patter of little feet in the house soon," meaning, I'm pregnant, we're going to have a baby. For some reason, when she said that, my mind envisioned a toddler running down a hallway and then exploding for no reason. So pitter patter became Pitter Splatter. And that's kind of where it came from. Just random.
Actually, I did not know about that story.
That's it.
Okay. Well, now I know.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for your time.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you.